Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon SoulSilver. And the last time we teamed up with Silver to fight off Lance and Claire and then took a giant cruise before looking for some phone numbers, and now this. Glad to meet you. I'm Monica of Monday. As a token of our friendship, I have a gift for you. And here we get the Shark Beak, which I believe powers up the ability of flying type moves? Yes. Before we go into all of the battles against all the gym leaders we can do over at the Fighting Dojo, I want to go get the rest of the Day of the Week siblings from around the area. We'd already gotten Wednesday and Fridays, but now it's time for Tuscany. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm Tuscany of Tuesday. By way of introduction, please accept this gift, a Twisted Spoon. This powers up psychic type moves. Every single one of these siblings does have a second item they can give you, which is namely a ribbon that's applied to at least the first Pokemon in your team slots. It might be all of them. And you need to find them the next week after getting these items from them the first time.
Who are you? I'm Arthur of Thursday. Here, take this.
Here we get the Hard Stone. This powers up the strength of rock-type moves, I believe. Technically, all of this footage was recorded while I was grabbing the phone numbers for all the gym leaders, but I figured it'd be best just to kind of start with them this part so they weren't awkwardly in the middle of everything else. It's Saturday. I'm Santos of Saturday. Take this. This is the Soft Sand. This powers up ground-type moves when held by the Pokemon in question. Most of these items are worth going for, at least the first set, because especially if you have a Pokemon that specializes in using a specific type of move, it's just good to have that around. And next up, time for the last one. All that's left, I believe, is Sundays. And they're just south of Ecruteak City.
Hi, I'm Sunny of Sunday, meaning it's Sunday today. I was told to give this to if I saw you.
And this is the Magnet. I believe this powers up electric type moves. Yes, okay, that is it. I was like, it's either that or Steel, but I don't know why it would be Steel. Alright, that's all them out of the way. For now, it's time for us to start calling up all the gym leaders. The best time to call them is the one you see on the top screen right now. So let's go down and call Faulkner, who you can call on Saturday nights. Just gotta scroll through a lot of people to get to him. And it's only gonna get longer as we go through all 16 of the gym leaders. Hello. Okay, now I can hear you. Yeah, I'm in top form. I was hoping for an invitation. We're battling again, correct? Yep. Excellent, glad to hear it. I'm looking forward to this. I'll be waiting at the Fighting Dojo in Saffron City. So this is, by and large, probably going to be the only fight we show at completely full speed, because, frankly, it's just a good demonstration of what these fights are like. Hi, I've been waiting for you. It's a pleasure to be able to battle you again. So the rematches here in the Fighting Dojo, every single gym leader has boosted Pokemon levels. The problem is the level boosting is kind of inconsistent, as sometimes it's to about where you are right now, other times it's way above you. Starting off, Faulkner is throwing out his Staraptor, Intimidate for its ability, U-turn, Close Combat, Brave Bird, and Attract. Watch out for Brave Bird especially. Staraptor is also a new Pokemon. This is the final evolution of Starly, evolving from the mid-form at level 34. Normal flying type, so it's weak against rock, electric, and ice, immune to ground and ghost. This is the best out of all the normal flying Pokemon they usually have in every gen. High physical attack, good speed, good moveset overall. I love it to death. Coming in close place, though, is Swellow. This particular Swellow's got Guts for its ability, Protect, Double Team, Facade, and Endeavor, and has a Flame Orb to burn itself on its next turn to double the power of Facade. Swellow evolves from that Tailo Pokemon we saw several parts back, around level 22 or so. It's the Gen 3 normal flying type. Rock, electric, and ice for weaknesses, immune to ground and ghost. Decent physical attack. This one particularly specializes in high speed. So if you're just trying to get some hits in and get them fast in Gen 3 onwards, you could do a lot worse. The big problem is, again, moveset sometimes not exactly the best for it. But time for one I really like. This is Honchkrow, Faulkner's specific one. Has Insomnia for its ability, Dark Pulse, Night Slash, Sucker Punch, and Thunder Wave. It's actually a pretty good moveset overall. Honchkrow evolves from Murkrow when you use a Dusk Stone on it. It is Dark Flying type, meaning it is weak to Rock, Electric, Ice, and eventually Fairy, and immune to Ground and Psychic. Honchkrow has incredibly high attack and special attack, and has a good HP stat on top of it. This is a great flying type to use overall. I love it to death. Its learn set can be a little limiting in some of the first gens it's in, but nowadays you could do a lot worse for a dark type especially. Next up is Faulkner's Pelipper. Keen Eye for its ability, Surf, Ice Beam, Hidden Power, and Tailwind. Pelipper itself is the evolved form of the Wingull Pokemon we saw around Cinnabar Island. It evolves from that around level 25. Water Flying, so it's weak to Rock and Electric, immune to Ground. Electric is a 4x weakness, though. It's got a good physical defense stat and okay special attack stat, but it's, out of the Pokemon he's using that are new, easily the worst choice he's made. Falconer's next Pokemon is his Noctowl. Insomnia for its ability, Air Slash, Shadow Ball, Feather Dance, and Roost. Overall, you should be pretty used to seeing one of these by now. The way we're gonna handle the future fights against the refighting gym leaders, because we're only getting through the Johto 8 this part, is I'm going to only be going normal speed for their new Pokemon to talk about the Pokemon themselves, and then just speeding up like it's an optional battle for the other ones, because I can just talk about their stats at that point and everything, because these aren't story important, they're just refights with boosted levels. And admittedly, a good amount of new Pokemon. Just from the Johto 8 alone, we're seeing about 23 new Pokemon this video alone. So, if you're looking for Pokedex stuff, pretty good place to come. Falconer's final Pokemon is his Pidgeot. Keen Eye for its ability, Return, Double Team, Swagger, and Roost. Roost is probably the most annoying thing there because it'll heal him. Don't worry too much about this. In fact, Falconer is easily the easiest of the refights, barring maybe one or two, because a good electric-type move will just take down more or less his entire team in one shot. Because from memory, not many of his particular Pokemon have high special defense, especially. Otherwise, my Ampharos's high special attack will just take care of everything. Not a very hard refight. This is also a very good way to get levels. I understand. I'll bow out gracefully. It's still a long way to become the best trainer. And then they all leave after you've beaten them. Next up, let's call on Bugsy. You can call Bugsy around noon on Thursdays. Honestly, the most annoying part about doing all this is just scrolling down to call them all. Hello? How are you? I'm doing great as usual. Oh, you called at just the right time. I'm not doing anything right now. Want to battle again? Absolutely. All right, see you at the Fighting Dojo in Saffron City. Bugsy's fight is a little funny, I won't lie, because of his new Pokemon. Good to see you again. Behold my bug research. Starting off, he throws out a very familiar Pokemon that we've already seen in this particular playthrough thanks to trading. This is his Scizor. Technician for its ability, holding a Citrus Berry, X-Size, X-Scissor, Sword Dance, Bullet Punch, and Superpower. We're just moving right on into the next Pokemon. This is his Yanmega. Tinted Lens for its ability, Bug Buzz, Air Slash, Detect, and Ancient Power. Yanmega is a Generation 4 evolution of the Pokemon known as Yanma from this gen. Bug Flying type, so it's weak against Flying, Rock, Fire, Electric, Ice, immune to Ground, Rock's at 4x weakness. High special attack, decently fast, okay learn set. It's good, but there's just better bug Pokemon overall usually. For instance, his next Pokemon is Heracross. Guts for its ability, Mega Horn, Counter, Stone Edge, and Close Combat. An excellent moveset for this Pokemon. Heracross is a bug fighting type, meaning it is weak against Flying, Fire, Psychic, and eventually Fairy. It's 4x weak to Flying. Heracross has an extraordinarily high physical attack stat and a good set of defense stats as well, but its best stat otherwise is its speed. With the right moveset though, it's kind of an absurd Pokemon. Bugsy's Pincers got Mold Breaker for its ability, so abilities don't apply while fighting it. X-Scissor, Rock Tomb, Earthquake, and Guillotine, it's alright. Vespiquen though, this has Pressure for its ability, Attack Order, Defend Order, Protect, and Confuse Ray. Vespiquen evolves specifically from female Combees. At level 21. Bug Flying type as well, so Flying, Rock, Fire, Electric, Ice, immune to Ground, Rock support times weakness. Vespiquen's got good defense stats, but that's about it. Unlike Shedinja. Shedinja is one of my favorite bug Pokemon just from concept alone. This particular one's got Wonder Guard for its ability, X-Scissor, Shadow Sneak, Swagger, and Toxic. Notice how basically everything has some form of X-Scissor. Shedinja is Bug Ghost type, meaning it is weak to Flying, Rock, Ghost, Fire, and Dark. But the ability Wonder Guard makes it so that it'll only take damage from things that it's super effective against, so those move types are the only types of moves that can affect it. Wonder Guard has unfortunately only ever been used on Shedinja, but that ability is just so cool, I wish more Pokemon had it. There's some strats you can use in like double battles to slowly transfer that ability from one Pokemon to another. Ultimately, you can get it, I've seen one strategy where you can get it onto a Arcanine and have it use Burnout so that no type can damage it, but that's extraordinarily specific to set up. Either way, time for Whitney.
Hello? Hey, what's up? I'm doing great over here. Totally. Yeah, I'm bored. Nothing to do. Oh, yeah. You want to battle me again?
Yep, we're doing all 8 this time, so why not?
For sure. I really want to battle too. You know where to find me. The Fighting Dojo in Saffron.
Whitney's team is a little bit of a weird one.
I never break my promises. Are you ready?
Most of the Pokemon she uses are ones we've already seen. Even if the levels are higher than what she had originally. She starts off with the Giraffe Rig, Inner Focus for its ability, Calm Mind, Baton Pass, Shadow Ball, and Psychic. A good couple of dark moves to take that down. Next up is her Licky Own Tempo for its ability, Ring Out, Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, and Ice Beam. It's actually a really dangerous Licky overall from the type set alone. But her next Pokemon is her Bibarel, Simple for its ability, Double Team, Surf, Charge Beam, and Ice Beam. Simple in particular effectively doubles how good every single stat changes. So even if it's a +1 stage raise on like a defense, it's technically 2 in 1, so you can get some good stuff out of that. Bibarel, though, evolves from Bidoof at level 15. Normal water type, so it's weak against fighting, grass, and electric, immune to ghost. It's got an okay attack stat and HP overall. Like Bidoof, it's best used as just an HM user because it can learn most of the ones that you really care about. Next up, Whitney is throwing out her Miltank, Scrappy for its ability, Body Slam, Attract, Rest, and Sleep Talk. Scrappy, in particular, means that any of its normal type moves can hit ghost types. Not as dangerous now as it used to be, though. Next up, she's throwing out her Delcatty, Normalize for its ability, Fake Out, Baton Pass, Assist, and Calm Mind. Normalize makes it so that every move it uses becomes normal type, which is a bit of a weird choice, but oh well. Delcatty evolves from the Pokemon Skitty we haven't seen when you use a Moonstone on it. It is a pure 3 normal type from Gen 3. So it's weak to fighting, immune to ghost. It's got a good speed stat and HP overall, but it's not super good. But because of its ability, it has some unique plays that only it can do overall. Not much in my favorite Pokemon list, though. I'm not a big fan of this one in particular. It's cute, though. I'll give it that, because I'll always like cats. Either way, her final Pokemon she's sending out is her Clefable. Magic Guard for its ability, Calm Mind, Fire Blast, Thunder, and Blizzard. It's here to cause some damage, even if it's not accurate. Magic Guard prevents Pokemon from taking indirect damage, so things like certain status ailments, Leech Seeds, Recoil. It prevents them from taking damage like that. And in the right hands, that can honestly be really ridiculous. Clefable especially could take some good advantage of it. Whitney's Refight is the first one that's just a little bit weird in the Pokemon she uses.
You really are strong, but I won't lose next time.
Aw, she thinks there's gonna be a round 3. Also, I should note, if you want to fight her, you can only fight her on Saturday afternoons, or at least you can only call her then. Similarly, Morty can only be called on Tuesday nights. Kind of wish you had a sort option for the phone, by the way. Hello, what's going on? I'm doing great. I'm completely free today. Why don't we have a battle? Alright, do you know where the Fighting Dojo in Saffron is? I'll be waiting there. Morty probably has one of the biggest team upgrades overall out of the Johto leaders, at least. I was just talking about you. Let's battle. Starting off, Morty is going to be throwing out his Drift Blim, unburdened for its ability, so after it eats its Citrus Berry, its speed increases. I think it doubles it even. Shadow Ball, Substitute, Thunderbolt, and Destiny Bond. Drifblim in particular evolves from the Pokemon Drifloon at level 28. It's a ghost flying type, so it's weak to rock, ghost, electric, ice, and dark, but immune to normal, fighting, and ground. Extraordinarily high HP stat, and a good special attack stat as well, and it's decently fast. It's a good ghost type. Gen 4 adds some really good darks and ghosts overall. Next up, speaking of which, if memory serves, Morty is sending out his Dusknoir. Pressure for its ability, Will-O-Wisp, Substitute, Plane Split, and Payback. Dusknoir is a Gen 4 evolution to the Pokemon Dusclops that it evolves after it's holding a Reaper Cloth. Pure Ghost type, so it's weak to Ghost and Dark, but immune to normal and fighting. Dusknoir is the tankiest Ghost type prior to Gen 5, I believe. Very high physical and special defense, and a good physical attack stat as well, so it was able to take advantage of some Ghost moves that other ghosts weren't able to even in Gen 3. And then next up is his Sableye. Stall for its ability, Fake Out, Ice Punch, Brick Break, and Sucker Punch. Stall makes it so that it automatically moves second more often than not. Sableye itself is a dark ghost type, so it's weak to nothing actually as of this gen. Immune to normal fighting psychic, but it'll eventually be weak to fairy. Sableye, despite that really good typing, doesn't have any really good stats to back it up. It's got some okay physical stats, special stats, and the rest of its stats aren't anything really to write home about, though. When it eventually got that Mega Evolution, you got a really good defensive Pokemon out of it. And while it's got a good learn set, it just can't take good advantage of it. It's a Pokemon that I love, but I wish just had one stat that was slightly higher. And next up is his next new Pokemon. This is his Miss Magius. Levitate for its ability, Astonish, Mean Look, Perish Song, and Confuse Ray. Miss Magius overall is a pure ghost type introduced in Gen 4 that evolves from Miss Drevis when you use a Dusk Stone on it. Weak to Ghost and Dark, immune to normal fighting and ground. Very good special stats and speed that makes the Miss Drevis Pokemon worth using, because that is not a good Pokemon otherwise. And then next up, he's got two Gengars. Both have Levitate for their ability. One has Shadow Ball, Hypnosis, Focus Blast, and Confuse Ray. The other has Shadow Ball, Substitute, Thunderbolt, and Destiny Bond. Kinda wish he had one more new Pokemon instead of just having the two Gengars again, but oh well. I've lost again. You may have something more than just strength. Alright, halfway there with the Johto leaders. Next up, we got a called Chuck you can call on Wednesday nights. I'm not sure how much of next part is just going to be the Kanto leaders doing this. I doubt it'll be the whole video, but oh boy. Hello? Oh hey, sorry for shouting. I'm doing great. Oh hey, I just finished training. You want to battle again? Yes, I do. Alright, I'll be waiting over at the Fighting Dojo in Saffron. Chuck's team is probably the most familiar. Hi, there you are. Taste my 24-hour training. And starting off, he's throwing out a very good Pokemon. I remember last time we talked about Meditite. He's going to next throw out Meditite's evolution, Medicham. Pure power for its ability, so its attack stats effectively doubled. Attract, Psycho Cut, Thunder Punch, and High Jump Kick. Medicham overall evolves from Meditite at like level 37, I think. Fighting Psychic type, so it's weak against Flying, Ghost, and eventually Fairy. Medicham's stats at first look really low, but it really is a good Pokemon thanks to pure power backing it up. It's decently fast, good learn set, good mon. Next up though, Chuck's throwing out his Primeape. Anger Point for its ability, Swagger, Payback, Thunder Punch, and Close Combat. Not much to write home about. Unlike Breloom. This Breloom's got Poison Heal for its ability, Toxic Orb it's holding, Substitute, Stone Edge, Drain Punch, and Focus Punch. The Toxic Orbs to cause a Poison status ailment, which Poison Heal has the ability effectively makes into Regen from Final Fantasy. It'll just recover HP instead. Breloom is a grass fighting type, meaning it's weak against Flying, Poison, Fire, Psychic, Ice, and eventually Fairy. 4 times weak to Flying. Very high physical attack stat that in Gen 3 it just didn't have the learn set to back it up. But now you can get a really good fighting Pokemon out of it, honestly. Chuck's next Pokemon is its Poliwrath Water Absorb for its ability, Substitute, Double Team, Waterfall, and Focus Punch, followed by the Hitmonchan, Iron Fist for the ability, Swagger, Double Team, Mach Punch, and Focus Punch, and Hitmonlee, Reckless for its ability, Fake Out, Bulk Up, Blaze Kick, and High Jump Kick. Battle with you is never boring. Is this format for handling these a little weird because of how fast I have to talk and how little I have to say otherwise? Yes, but I just want to show these fights off more than anything. Next up, it's time for us to call Janine, who you can only call on Wednesday afternoons. And has a lot of new Pokemon! Hello, how are you? I'm doing well, thanks. Amphi's gotten lighter lately. I've also been able to take some time to myself. What do you think? Would you like to battle me again? Yes. Got it. Well, I'll see you in Saffron City at the Fighting Dojo, okay? I love her new team because she just brings out some of the big stops. We're here as we promised. Are you prepared? So she starts off with a pseudo-legendary because her first Pokemon she's throwing out is a Metagross. Clear body for its ability, so you cannot lower their stats with moves. Meteor Mash, Gravity, Bullet Punch, and Explosion. A great learn set for this Pokemon as well. Steel Psychic type, so it is weak against Ground, Ghost, Fire, and Dark, immune to Poison, as all Steel types are. Metagross is a very good Pokemon. High physical stats, and I'm talking like 130 pluses, and some okay special stats to back it up as well. The biggest weakness is overall is it's not too fast, but it's still faster than most slow Pokemon. That said, a good fire-type move will probably still take it out. Next up, she's throwing out her Empoleon. Torrent for its ability, Hydro Pump, Blizzard, Aqua Jet, Roar. This is the final form of the Gen 4 Water Starter. Empoleon overall is a Water Steel type, meaning it is weak against Fighting, Ground, and Electric, and immune to Poison, which is great typing for a starter overall. Very high special attack and good special defense as well. It's a very good starter Pokemon overall. I'd argue it's probably my favorite out of the water starters, barring maybe Greninja. I love this thing. That said, a good zap will probably take it out. Next up, she's throwing out her Skarmory. Sturdy for its ability, Steel Wing, Night Slash, Air Slash, and Spikes is probably the least important Pokemon to write home about with her set. Her Steelix, sturdy for its ability, Iron Tail, Stone Edge, Stealth Rock, and Roar. Next up, she's sending out her Magnezone. This evolves from Magneton when you level it up near a certain magnetic field that's just not present in this game. Sturdy for its ability, Metal Sound, Mirror Coat, Lock-On, and Zap Cannon. Magnezone overall electric steel type, so it's weak to fighting, ground, and fire. Ground is a 4x weakness, immune to poison. Great special attacker with good physical defense to back it up. The rest of its stats aren't super great, but with a good learn set, this is a very good electric type to keep around. Plus, the immunity to poison type is good to write home as well. Next up is her Bronzong. Heat-proof for its ability, so fire type is not super effective against it. Gyro Ball, Gravity, Hypnosis, and Dream Eater. Bronzong evolves from that Bronzor we saw a long time ago at this point at level 33. Steel Psychic type, so it's weak to ground, ghost, fire, and dark, immune to poison. Its two abilities means you can effectively remove one of its weaknesses overall. Good learn set, good defense stats. This is a great defensive tank to have around, just in general. I kind of underestimated this Pokemon's line when I was a kid playing Gen 4, but nowadays, honestly, it's a tank I'll always consider if I see one. My only big gripe against it is it's a very common Pokemon to see in Gen 4. So it kind of has that Rattata problem where even if it's okay, you just see it too often. True to your reputation. Alright, 6 down, 2 to go. It's time for us to call up Price. Price can be called up on Monday mornings. And he also has almost entirely new Pokemon for us to see. Hello. Oh, hi. How are you? I'm doing fine, thanks. Oh, perfect timing. I was starting to get bored. Do you want to battle again? Yep. Honesty is good. So I'll meet you at the fighting dojo in Saffron City then. Indeed you will. Finally. No need for words. Pokemon battle is the way for us to communicate. Starting off, Price is going to throw out his Obama Snow. Snow warning for its abilities, so it summons a hailstorm the moment it's thrown out. Ice Shard, Wood Hammer, Earthquake, and Blizzard. Obama Snow evolves from Snover at level 40, a Pokemon we haven't seen yet, but it is a grass ice type, meaning it is weak to fighting, flying, poison, rock, bug, steel, and fire. Fire is a 4x weakness. That amount of weaknesses is not worth what you get here until it got its Mega Evolution in Gen 6. Okay attack stats, decent defense stats, but nothing super standout that could make it worth having despite that list of weaknesses. Which is kind of unfortunate, but it's just because the grass type carries a big debuff with it in general. Next up, Price is throwing out his Dugong, I believe. Thick Fat for its ability, Dive, Rest, Sleep Talk, and Sheer Cold. It's just a more powerful version of the Dugong he had back when. Sheer Cold is the biggest thing to fear there because that's a one-hit KO move. Although more often than not, I tend to see it use Dive, which is kind of weird, but oh well. Next up, he's throwing out his Mamoswine. Mamoswine is a Generation 4 evolution of Piloswine. You need to level it up while it knows Ancient Power to reach this. Ice Ground type, so it's weak to fighting, steel, fire, water, and grass, but immune to electric. This makes the Swine-Up line worth having around. Very high physical attack, very good HP. The remainder of its stats alone are good, besides the special defense, which is kind of trash. And you can get a real good learn set here to take advantage of that physical attack. This is a great Pokemon that they added to a line later down the line to just make it much more usable. I love Mamoswine. Next up, Price is sending out his, I think it's his Walrein? Yes. Ice Body for its abilities, Swagger, Hail, Body Slam, and Blizzard. Ice Body makes it basically regenerate HP during a Hailstorm status weather effect. Walrein is a Generation 3 Pokemon that evolves from Celio, who we haven't seen at level 44. Ice Water type, so it is weak against Fighting, Rock, Grass, and Electric. Walrein's a good HP tank that can take good advantage of its special attack stat overall. There are better ice types, but this is a good one if you're looking for one when it comes down to it. Its original learn set in Generation 3 from memory wasn't the best, as with a lot of other Pokemon, but for a counter to dragons, you could do a lot worse, plus that HP tank nature of it means you can take some damage with it too. Next up, he is sending out his, I want to say it's his Glalie, yeah. Inner Focus for its ability, Torment, Payback, Attract, and Blizzard. Glalie evolves from Snowrunt at level 42. We haven't seen Snowrunt yet. Pure Ice type, meaning it is weak to Fighting, Rock, Steel, and Fire. Glalie is weird in that all of its stats are okay, but they're also all 80, so it doesn't really have any standouts for what it can do, but it can, in some cases, do some good defending. When it got the Mega Evolution, it became a lot more useful due to its raised speed and attack stats. Which is kind of a shame, because it makes the other evolution of Snowrunt so much more useful. Speaking of that other evolution, it's Price's last Pokemon. This is Frostlass. Snowcloak for its ability, Ice Shard, Confuse Ray, Attract, and Blizzard. Snowcloak raises evasion during a hailstorm. Frostlass evolves from female Snowrunts when you use a Dawnstone on them. Ice Ghost type, so it's weak to Rock, Ghost, Steel, Fire, and Dark, but immune to Normal and Fighting. Frostlass's big standout stat is its speed, and it has some okay attack stats on top of that. So your main thing here is to try and get your hits in quick and hope you can dodge other attacks. Good learn set overall. Good design, but there are usually better ice types. I like it though. For years I used to actually think for some reason that Frostlass was legendary, and I think that's entirely because of how it was treated in one of the Mystery Dungeon games. Impressive. Is that all I got to say? I guess it is. And thus, there's only one Johto gym leader left for us to rematch. It's time for us to rematch Claire, who you can call on Friday nights. With that said, her fight's a little underwhelming overall, because nothing's new to it besides, level changes. Nice to hear from you. How is everything from you? I'm good. Well, you called at the right time. You want to battle again? I'm up for it. You know it. It's great that you're stepping up. I'll be waiting for you at the Fighting Dojo in Saffron. Now, when I say nothing's really changed with her, I more mean we have no new Pokemon. Her team is completely different. You're here. Now let's battle. The biggest disappointment to her team, though, is that it more or less is her just copying Lance's team. She's got a Dragonair, a Gyarados, an Aerodactyl, a Kingdra, a Charizard, and a Dragonite. The Gyarados has Intimidate for its ability, Dragon Dance, Waterfall, Earthquake, and Dragon Pulse. The Aerodactyl's got Rockhead for its ability, Rock Slide, Thunderfang, Earthquake, and Roar. It's probably the biggest threat on her team, barring her Dragonite, honestly. The Dragonair's got Shedskin for its ability, Dragon Rush, Thunderwave, Thunderbolt, and Flamethrower. The Dragonite's got Inner Focus, a Citrus Berry, Dragon Breath, Safeguard, Thunder, and Hyper Beam. The Charizard's got Blaze for its ability, Dragon Claw, Shadow Claw, Fire Fang, and Air Slash. And the Kingdra, as usual, has Sniper for its ability, Dragon Breath, Hydro Bump, Ice Beam, and Yawn. I really wish she got some new Pokemon, because her team in general here is not a bad idea, because she's just stepping up to be like her brother. But having already faced her brother just feels kind of underwhelming, I guess is the way I want to phrase it. By the way, basically every single gym leader refight can and will use full restores, so be prepared to have some really annoying healing happen if you don't one-shot any of the Pokemon you're going to be fighting. At least her levels are up to par overall because she has some Pokemon in their 60s. Mostly the Kanto gym leaders are what get the real boost here for some reason. But that's all 8 Johto rematches. We still got 8 Kanto rematches to go, but frankly, this took a lot more time than I thought it would. Way to go. Now give it your all. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 37, hopefully not just the Kanto rematches, but we'll see what happens. See you guys then.